Hi everyone, I am Phoenix Tremayne, and this is my Real Housewives of Atlanta review, Season 5, Episode 15, Praise the Pageant. I'm not sure why it's called Praise the Pageant. It was a horrible pageant. But, I really hated this episode. It was boring, it was hard to watch, it was hard to get through. Wasn't too happy with this episode. So, let's get to it. We start off with Kenya. It's been 2 weeks since we kicked it off with Kenya, starting the show off like she always does. But we're back to that. So, it's all about Cynthia's pageant for the most part. So Kenya comes and she offers to be a judge. There's a brief moment of Cynthia saying, "Oh, do you really want to do, judging for me twice?" But eventually she gives in because she knows she needs Kenya, to be relevant. It is what it is. But I don't know what's going on with Kenya. It's like somebody's decided to give her an image makeover. And after the whole booty butt pad incident, we go from that craziness to cancer scare last week. And this week, she's so demure and nice. And then in a preview for next week, it looks like, they talk about Walter. And then, she runs off in tears like Porsha's bullying her because Walter came to her party. Oh, poor Kenya. So, blah, 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 the whole Renaissance bullshit. In Miss Renaissance, Porsha just did the Harlem Renaissance party. And now, you got Cynthia doing the Renaissance pageant, which, by the way, I was looking at them girls and I didn't see any kind of Renaissance anything. And then Porsha and Cordell have a little discussion because she wants a nanny and he doesn't want a nanny. He wants her to be a mother and take care of the kids and be part of a traditional family no matter how much money they got. I see his point of view. I do think it's okay to have a nanny. Maybe not in the very beginning. You may want to form that bond between mother and child before you form the bond between mother, child, and nanny. Phaedra, Kandi, Todd, and Apollo have a aphrodisiac dinner where Phaedra lets herself be a little freaky, and by the end of the scene, she looks a little tipsy too. But it was boring. And then we've got Kandi talking about her religious background, bishops in her family. And, she brings Marvin Sapp in to do this record. He comes in, he blows it out the water. And you listen to him and you listen to Kandi and it's like, okay, get your ass back in the booth. Because Kandi doesn't hold up, even a little bit to what Marvin Sapp did. And, she even admits it on the show that she needs to redo her vocals because he really, kicks it in. It was funny, her father coming in and crying and stuff like that and saying how, this song will bring more youngsters to Christ. No, this isn't a song to do that, More of a We Are the World type song could possibly do something like that, but not this. This song probably does a little something on the gospel charts, but maybe even number one. But it's far from a crossover hit. We see Nene in Atlanta for about 5 minutes? No, more like 2 minutes. And her and Cynthia talk briefly about the pageant. And, you got Nene saying, why would you want Kenya to be a judge? I think in that moment she forgot they were on a reality TV show. And, they need somebody to make the shit hit the fan. But, of course, Kenya doesn't have to do shit during the pageant because the pageant is a disaster all on its own. Okay, then we got Porsha with the crying baby who doesn't cry till the end of the episode. And Porsha trying to cook and chase a baby around and get the baby not to eat dog food. Boring. That scene was enough to get Porsha kicked off the show and not come back for next season. I mean, Porsha without Kenya is also another character on the show that's become irrelevant. And we finally get to the pageant, and we've got a mess. And because I'm a fan of pageants now, because I got addicted to this show called Toddlers and Tiaras, sometimes I accidentally watch a show and end up liking it. Because as a writer, I study human behavior, and I just started watching Toddlers and Tiaras because of the mothers were so ratchet and crazy. I thought, oh crap, this is shit I can learn from. Studying, just how people become obsessed with their child and live their life through their child, and it was just a whole nother aspect of. I don't have any children, so. It was just a whole nother aspect of just seeing people, even in a reality show setting, their relationships with their kids as much as you can see the reality TV. And Toddlers and Tiaras is a whole nother cup of tea. So I'm going to get off of that, even though that's a good show. And but it prepared me for Cynthia's pageant and kind of knowing what to look for, when not to look for. Because if you watch Toddlers and Tiaras, you can see the difference between a good pageant and a professional pageant and a fucked up pageant. And Cynthia's goes into the category of the fucked up pageant, even though they tried to clean it up and polish it up at the end. It starts off with Boris Kojo is dressed wrong for the pageant. He comes in tennis shoes, jeans, and like a shirt. He's like way casual. He's not taking it serious at all. And Cynthia's kind of upset because he won't go back and change clothes, but she has to pull it together and get him to the pageant because Cynthia is 30 minutes late. 30 minutes before her pageant starts. She gets there. Really? That to me was like one of the worst moments of the show. I know you have other people running things and coordinating things, but this is your first pageant. And you're late. You're late. You should have been there 4 hours early. You should have been there 6 hours early. You should have been there before the building opened. You should have had somebody else pick up Boris Kojo and had your hair and makeup and dress people at the pageant to dress you there. I'm a micromanager. I'm a producer that's a micromanager. I don't just I'm in a new setting or I'm at somebody's home and I'm like, oh, I'm late. If I'm late to one of my filmings, it's because I had to buy these people food, and or I needed to, something happened with car trouble or something. But, the pageant, people paying their money, it's not a good look. It's unprofessional. And that kind of took me off guard. And then, what the fuck was Kandi wearing? And this isn't, bash Kandi review because I love me some Kandi, but the script was out of order. Now that's something I've never seen in like 5 years of Toddlers and Tiaras or whatever, season 5 or 6, whatever they're on, where somebody's just totally messed up the order of people, like calling out wrong names and stuff like that. Hell, I would have had the little girls whisper their name just before they come out. Hey, I'm Mariana. That's better than having some pageant mom losing her shit because you said the wrong name coming down the aisle. And then the mics were fucked up. Porsha came late. Phaedra came late. Kandi came on time because she's professional. See, that's my good thing to say about Kandi for this episode. Let me see what else happened. And Porsha brought the baby, of course, and she brought a friend, cousin, somebody, I couldn't remember. But, she had basically a nanny, come with her to help take care of this kid. Because Porsha ain't trying to take care of no kid. Porsha wants a nanny. And I think Porsha needs a nanny. And then when they go to break, they completely miss a category. They've got these girls in the teen category all lined up ready to go. And Cynthia Boris is talking about, all right, we back, 10-minute break. And then Kenya takes the high road. Like I said, I think they're rehabbing Kenya's image, but Kenya's like, oh, it's fine. This is your first pageant. She's very supportive. We're talking about Kenya Moore here. She's being very supportive. Really? I mean, come on. She could have done something to make this more exciting. But ironically, I'm happy she didn't do anything because really she didn't have to. I mean, it just was a disaster all on its own. And then when they come from the break, it looks like things have turned around. And they started changing the music in like upbeat tempo. And yeah, now Cynthia's doing it. No, it's still a disaster. I can look at the audience and tell this shit's a disaster. I can tell reality TV. Okay, let's turn this around. Let's like Kitchen Nightmares. Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. Make it look bad before you make it look good. No. It was still bad. And I can tell, they didn't really dwell on it, but the judging probably took a long time, because based on that preview before the commercial break, judging probably took forever. And that's happened on a lot of pageants, it's usually the judging that can take a hell of a long time. Especially when you got all the girls' names wrong. Oh God, I could just imagine being a judge and somebody's calling out the wrong name and you're marking the wrong girl with the wrong score because she came out the wrong name. Disaster. And then Cynthia and Boris, they do a walk to try to appease the audience while they're waiting. And Cynthia's supposed to be a model, but I don't know, maybe it was nerves or something, but I mean, I know a lot of people who walked better than that. Boris did it. I mean, he did the male model walk, which is a lot easier. But, he looked good, and Cynthia looked like she never walked before in her life. And then at the end of the pageant, Cynthia's talking about, oh, now I'm legit. No, bitch, you're not. And then the baby cries. And Porsha mentions that, she was supposed to sing, and I'm like, damn! That's what would have made this a worthwhile episode, to see Porsha sing, and that would have been funny. And then Phaedra said everything went seamless. Well, everything goes seamless when you come an hour late. You miss all the fucked up shit. And then next week looks more fun. They're in LA with Nene, and Nene's going off on him for coming to her house late. Won't let the bitches in. It's like, bitch, this is my house. You can't come 2 hours late, and you need to leave. I think she said, you bitches need to leave. Something like that. I don't know. But next week should be more fun. And that's it. The only thing I will leave you with is I'm almost ready for my soccer files. to come out, and I have a special preview for you. So please enjoy. Any questions, comments? I am casting if you're in the Baltimore, DC, Virginia area. And talk to you next time. My last review was longer than this, twice as long as this. So that should tell you how boring this fucked up episode was. So until next time, see you then.